Right, you won't be without.
I'm 4.5.2.
Yeah, it's.
No, this is the one that looks like this at the
Oh, the
beginning.
comprehension questions.
No, it looks like this at the beginning.
On the front it says 2 Canadas and it's this. Oh,
Yeah. So if you go to the second last page, it's before the last, the Act of the Union. So just so we're clear that before this, it used to be, government structure was, just so you're clear how it changed it, that there was a governor in Canada and you had Upper Canada and Lower Canada. Each of them had a lieutenant, gov. Each of them had government in their language. So over here it was English. This was government in their language, and in Lower Canada, that language is French. And decisions by elite. Which is why the majority of the population was grumbling, because their needs weren't met, right? That was the before. But after the Act of the Union, this creates what we are more familiar with today, right? It made one Canada. And I'm going to write east, small, and I'm going to write west. Wait, I'm going to write that backwards. Canada. West is small and east is big. Okay? Because this was a larger population of French. And this was a smaller population of English. And when I say that, I mean speaking,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So essentially what this is, it's like ridings. You know how we've been talking recently about ridings? That you take the map of Canada and there are 360 some ridings across Canada. One elected politician for each seat, each riding. And those people represent a fairly even population in each of those ridings. The size of the riding or the borders sometimes change because populations swell or they add new people. And the idea is that each, say, 200,000 people gets a vote. Each 200,000 people get one person to represent them with their vote in government. And so that's what they did. They made it one united colony or province, so the province of Canada, but 2 ridings. And in those ridings, instead of it being in their language, now it was that they had one governor, no lieutenant governors, they were gone. Now it was elected assembly, or politicians. So people could be elected. Are you not going to write this down?
I got
No, you don't. But it was one language in government, English.
the right language.
So they removed in Lower Canada, their ability to deal in government issues in their own language. So the French people were so concerned about it being assimilated. Well, here they've removed Frenchness. And each riding, if you want to play 7-Up or whatever, the deal was you write this down. Each riding got the same representatives. same number of representatives or politicians. And then I would put down over here, which was unfair to the larger French population. For example, let's say as an example that maybe you've got 100,000 people over here, and maybe you've got, 75,000 people over here. But you've got one politician, and their votes are equal. And now it's in French. So it was unbalanced in government, right? And again, the goal, so it's a new goal, a renewed goal of assimilation.
On the French?
To remove the French population, to overwhelm them, to make everything, all the practices and government decisions happen in the main language of English, that the French larger population had less say compared to the smaller population, that kind of stuff, right? And again, we're making comparisons to all of these things to what's happening in Canada today. Would you say that there is a population in Canada that believes that they should have a larger say in what happens government-wise, but they feel like their voices aren't equally being heard? Yes, we know that that's happening, or that's at least being felt, for example. Right? Have you guys been following the Daniel Smith stuff too? That there are some other Indigenous...
What is this test for, though?
Pardon?
What's this test you?
What test?
Nothing.
Alert.
Oh, that. And you shouldn't have had that out. I technically
didn't.
should take it.
I
Okay.
could feel it.
Well, you have to learn to ignore it because it's not supposed to be on you anyway.
What if it was a real alert?